Hello, Jen here with a layout for the Wild Whisper design team. This week I'm using the Christmas Comfort collection. This was released in October, I think, actually. And I decided this year this would be the collection I would use in my December daily. So I haven't done the cover on my album yet, and I thought it was about time that I got this done. So that's what I'm going to do. And you can see here I just have a whole bunch of the 12 by 12 papers. I really love that Fa La 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 paper. I just like that classic black and white. And because my album has the black binding, I guess, I don't know what that is, like the seam binding on the cover, I thought that it just looked really nice to have this clean white, black and white patterns. So that's what I picked first. And now I'm just going to pick a few more things to embellish it. Normally I do my cover first. And when I teach my December daily class, I teach a class that is basically just how to kind of prepare for your December daily and then get it all done within a sort of acceptable amount of time. So it seems, a lot of people say they start really well and they get going with this December daily and then they kind of run out of steam and it becomes one of those projects that they just don't finish. And a lot of people just have these half done albums from, years and years, and they're not finishing them, or it becomes a chore to finish them and they kind of lose the joy of the project because it's just taking them too long. And so I love to teach a class on how I have kind of worked out my methods for getting it done and kind of hopefully inspiring people to find their own ways of just really enjoying the process from start to finish and getting it done on time. And one of the things that I always say is when it kind of becomes this daunting task of putting together this album, go ahead and do your cover. And I tend to encourage you to pick out all of your most favorite things from your kit and use that on the cover because it really sets the mood and kind of sets you up for what's to come inside the album. So even though I didn't take my own advice this year and get my cover kind of done first, I did have all this stuff saved up because I knew that I really wanted to have, especially that Fa La La paper, and then I have some of these tags and that really cute car. These are all from the embellishment pack, so I've kind of been holding on to them as I've been working in my album. I just had one of those crazy December months where I didn't get it done. Usually I do, but I was sick for most of the month and we had our home study and we just had a really busy, crazy month. So I will have this done by the end of January, which I still think is pretty good. And I'm kind of sticking to my same rules about how I like to get it done, so we're okay. I'm okay. So here you can see I used a couple of the border strips or the manufacturer strips, and then I had there's that really cute package pattern. I love those little presents, those little packages. They're adorable. And then, so I use those as kind of like a border where the black of the album meets the paper. And I'm going to put them going this way too, so you can see I need to figure out how to get a little bit more of that pattern underneath the car. And I love that car, it's so cute. I have the stamp of that car too, and I definitely am going to be using up all of those. There was this car and then two smaller ones I think in the die cut pack, so they are adorable. And so what I decided to do here, I'm going to just pull up these little tags a little bit, and then I can snip a piece of this border strip out from underneath it, and then that way I can kind of extend that border a little bit so it looks right under the under the car. I just felt like it needed to kind of be under the car where the wheels are instead of more in the body of the car. I don't know if that's just me kind of being weird because it just seemed like a road, or I don't know, but it works in the end. I get it all stuck down. And I love those tags. I love, because Wild Whisper paper is coated, they're just really nice and thick, and they have kind of a glossy finish to them. And that one there says it's not what's under the tree, but who's around it, or whatever that saying is. So I thought that was really sweet to put on the outside of my album. Now I have to have some ribbon. So these are just two kind of offcuts of ribbon that I had sitting beside me, and it just happened to be that one was green and one was red, so it worked out. So I'm just going to tuck that into the red one, and then this red is kind of like seam binding. I think that's what it's called. So I'm going to tuck that into the other one. And the other one has a whole bunch of arrows on it, and so they're just these really nice arrows that are embellished with feathers and things like that, which is kind of just a really different, rustic, Christmassy motif. So that's one of the reasons that I really liked this collection and really wanted to use it on my December daily this year. I felt like it was still giving me the Christmas, really traditional Christmas colors, because there is reds and greens. They're just still kind of more rustic and earthy, and so it gives a really different feel to the album. But of course, if you watched my flip through, you'll see that I always throw extra stuff in there too. I can't help myself. When we, start to collect so many different bits and pieces of Christmas stuff, it's hard not to try to use them all up. So I have that little stamp of the sunburst or the starburst, and so I just wanted a third one on there, so I stamped it onto a white tag that I had and cut it out. And the red from my ink isn't quite the same, but I think it works fine enough for me. So now, since I was on a roll and I kind of finished that cover a little bit faster than I thought I would, I decided I would flip through my album, because there was this page here on day 8 that I don't know, I wasn't feeling it for a while. I was kind of stuck on what I wanted to do, and since I had so many of the 12 by 12 pages still left, I decided to cover this entire page with some of the pattern paper. So on this side here, once I flip it over, you see I used that blue pattern. It's really nice, again, kind of a rustic blue, and then those splotches of white kind of give the feeling of snow, maybe. And I'm sorry, I zoomed in so you could see what I was doing, and then of course I don't zoom back out. But I picked one of the 4x6 cards from the card pack, and it has those presents down at the bottom. I thought for a second I might have remembered to pull up a little bit so you could see. But I just liked having those down at the bottom there, because that picture is a collage of the secret book exchange that I participated in. So me and a few friends kind of gave a list to each other of all of the books that we kind of have had our eyes on, and we just put together a little present. Everyone had their own secret Santa or whatever, and so you just had to buy a book for that person and a few other things. So my Secret Santa got me an awesome book. I was really looking forward to it, and she did a really good job, so I wanted to make sure to include that. And this top picture is our elves. That day they brought all of the makings for a gingerbread house and some gingerbread men. And I don't normally journal with them. Oh, there, I zoomed out a little bit. Good job, Jen. I don't normally journal about the things that our elves do, because they're here every year, and so it's just, I just like to keep a photo so I can, we can kind of look back and see what they did, but I don't need to explain everything that they did. So now on the other side of the page, which is still the same day, it was a busy day that day, I decided to use that Aero paper. I just liked the colors. I think they matched the photo. And then this is the other side, and it's that really nice burlap, so I'm going to use that to mat the photo. And this is just a picture of what I did that evening. So I teach classes at the Paper and Ink Boutique in Calgary, and there was an event. They were approached to do a make and take at an event in my local town, so I volunteered to do it because I love doing that kind of stuff, and I did brownies for many years, and I love doing crafts with kids, so I definitely was excited. I volunteered and went to the event, and my mom brought my kids so they could make crafts and decorate cookies and all that kind of stuff, and so they did little ornaments. One was a Christmas tree, or one was this cute layered snowflakes. And so I just wanted to document how fun that evening was, because they had carolers, and they had food trucks came out, and so you could go and get mini donuts, and you could get, I think, the fries and, what's that called? Fries and Dolls, I think is what it's called. So it was like a chip stand, and yeah, just a really fun Christmassy evening. And because the biggest picture there is of the carolers, I thought I would pick out all of the little sayings that were sort of Christmas songs. So fa la la, and then the other one is all is calm, all is bright. And then I did also have good tidings of comfort and joy, but it just didn't fit very nicely, so I didn't add that one on there. But I just wanted to spread out some of those Christmas carols. And now I'm going back to that cover because I had these cute little gold kind of puffy stickers. And I think that's it. So I got my cover done, and I got day 8 done. You can see there I have, I think I'm all the way done up to 13 now, so that's pretty good. I realized I mixed up my pages though, so they're backwards, but that's okay. I obviously, when I was covering them, I didn't flip it the right way, so I'm okay with that. Anyways, that is it for my video today. There are still shots coming up now. If you have any questions about any of the supplies that I used, ask me down below in the comments. And of course, the links to the blog and to the shop where you can buy all of this awesome product is down below too. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, happy scrapping. Bye!